It's always a pleasure being in your company and bringing you the latest happenings from within and beyond Namibia. Thanks for joining us for this week's penultimate edition of Primetime News. I'm Michael Madimba. Namibia-Russia relations lead the bulletin tonight. Head of State Dr. Hage Geingob in Russian chargé d'affaires in Namibia, Mikhail Nikitin, discussed Namibia-Russia relations at State House on Wednesday. Here is a video insert of the discussion, courtesy of the presidency.
It's a great honor for me to fulfill instruction from Moscow and to hand over to you. We would like to thank you, Your Excellency, and Namibia for your very principled, balanced and responsible position on many international issues during the current session of 77th session of UN General Assembly. And thank you very much for your stand. We highly appreciate it because we know that Namibia is our old friend, good friend, and we are committed, and I'm instructed to ensure that Russia will do everything possible for further development of our good relations in all spheres of life.
I'm always grateful to people of Soviet Union, that time Russia, same people. So as I said, we are very grateful. That's why we abstain when we are put under pressure to vote against or so on. But we are saying we're not consulted. Namibia is a small country, but we are proud also. We are not consulted by any other people. I got a call from Moscow, from the former president, now the chairman of the party. It is to brief me. It is to say this is what is happening. I got that call. I never got any call from anybody else.
On to legal matters. The Minister of Justice, Yvonne Dausab, recently called on the general public to assist in identifying outdated and obsolete apartheid laws, which are still operational in the country and continue to cause harm to the nation. Mulisa Simiasa father's story.
She made the call in the National Assembly Tuesday afternoon when she motivated the Law Reform and Development Commission report seeking full rights to repeal and amend parts of the legislature that need to be realigned with the current systems of independent Namibia. Dausab also encouraged other parliamentarians to support the LRDC's efforts, which are aimed at repealing obsolete and unnecessarily discriminatory and harmful laws which still exist. She said, for instance, there is a native minimum wage proclamation of 1944 which provides for payments of minimum wages to natives who are any persons other than Europeans. The minister stated that this proclamation is completely harmful as it only targets local-born Namibians and thus needs to be repealed. Reporting for Primetime News, Linnea Adishana.
Moving on. Journalism plays a pivotal role in bringing matters of importance to the fore, as well as shaping societies. It is in this breath that Namibia joined the international community on Wednesday in observing the International Day to End Impunity for Crimes Against Journalists. Sawi Siku filed this insert.
The Executive Director in the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, Audren Mate, said the day is observed under the theme Protecting Media to Protect Democracy. He said in a media statement availed to the media, Namibia has made great strides in ensuring press freedom as ranked 18th globally and second on the African continent by the Reporters Without Borders 2022 World Press Freedom Rankings. He further said the National Assembly and the National Council recently passed the Access to Information Bill, which is awaiting the presidency certification before it becomes law. Mata stated they view access to information legislation as a cornerstone of freedom. As a country that fosters their values and principles of press freedom, this day reminds us to speak out against any form of injustice against journalists globally. Reporting for Primetime News, Linnea Adishana.
Deputy Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, Heather Sivungo, on Wednesday called on African countries to submit more ambitious nationally determined contributions, as well as adopt ambitious deadlines for achieving net zero emissions. More from this report.
Speaking at a press briefing in Windhoek, Simbungu said Namibia further called on developed countries to provide the means of implementation and support for the effective implementation and enhancement of nationally determined contributions by developing countries. She added Namibia has revised its nationally determined contributions to address shortcomings identified as hampering effective implementation. The semi-arid nation has revised and updated its nationally determined contributions and set a target for reforestation of about 20 hectares every year as of 2021, and at the same time reduce the deforestation rate by 75% by 2030. Simbungu said a considerable amount of finance is urgently needed to support nationally determined contributions implementation to reach a net zero emission trajectory as soon as possible. The Conference of Parties, or COP27, will be held in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt from the 6th to the 18th of November 2022.
When we return, Otjiwarongo municipality employees stage peaceful demonstration. Primetime Biz is a segment that makes sense of all things business and economics. The segment commences in Otjiwarongo, where more than 120 employees of the town's municipality staged a peaceful demonstration on Wednesday morning, demanding improved working conditions. Molisa Simias, our correspondent, is tracking the development for us.
During their street march, the employees called on the removal of Chief Executive Officer Moses Matai, who allegedly uses an autocratic system. The workers had a petition they wanted to hand over to Matai at the municipality office building in town, but he allegedly refused by walking away from them without saying a word. When approached for comment, Matai said he was in a meeting. In a petition, the workers called for Matai's resignation, stating he is not a caring CEO, as in most cases he allegedly ignores workers' grievances. They said they also demand payment of their once-off paycheck, as they have agreed with the councillors, adding this is their money which accumulated for a period of 3 years when they did not receive a salary increase. Otjiwarongo Mayor Gottlieb Schibute, in an interview with Nampa on Wednesday, said the workers' demonstration was illegal, thus Matai had the right not to entertain it. Namibia Public Workers Union officials led the demonstration.
Meanwhile, the Walvis Bay Municipal Council has recommended that a qualified consultant internal auditor be appointed to provide internal audit support services to the municipality. Our Coastal Base correspondent Isabel Bento filed this insert.
The internal auditor will be required to audit all the departmental functions within the municipality for the minimum and maximum periods of 1 and 3 years respectively, by testing the existing internal controls to ensure that they are not idle, or at the same time to implement new internal controls and or improve on existing internal controls. This is contained in the council agenda and was announced during a council meeting held at the municipality Tuesday night. It followed a meeting held on 18 October requesting council's approval for such an appointment. Reporting for Primetime News, Linnea Dishana.
That's where the top news ends for this evening. Kindly stay tuned for the business and economics roundup, followed by what the weather has in store for us. Welcome to Sport Planet. Rugby leads the segment. Senior national rugby team coach Alistair Coetzee says it will be a privilege for the Welviches to compete in front of their fans against the Windhoek Draft Griquas on Saturday. The senior rugby team will take on the South African outfit in their first ever Dr. Hage Geingob Cup, which will be held at the Cathedral of Namibian Rugby, the Hage Geingob Stadium in the capital. Addressing the media on Wednesday, Coetzee said the team will use this weekend's game as part of the World Cup preparations. On to European football. Manchester United boss Erik ten Hag's attention to detail and obsession to win have impressed Casemiro in his first few months at Old Trafford. The five-time Champions League winner joined United from Real Madrid in August and has made a big impact in recent weeks as Ten Hag's project has slowly begun to take shape. United are at Real Sociedad this evening, needing to win by 2 clear goals to usurp the Spaniards at the top of Europa League Group E and secure a place in the last 16. Both sides have already qualified for the knockout phase, with second place in the group facing playoff against a side that has dropped down from the Champions League. Stand by for your sports roundup. With the sports news, we've come to the end of tonight's bulletin. Many thanks for watching. Do make a date with us tomorrow as we bring you the week's last edition of Primetime News. From myself, Michael Madimba, and the entire production crew, it's good night.